project that you and Sean and others had worked on, and with the
all in for
all
off for cancer. Yeah.
So I guess first of all, how did you get? Were you on the Haiti trip with Sean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir.
is that kind of where the maybe the beginnings of the thing kind of started to come together?
I would say yes to that. I mean, I will say that Sean collaborated most of it. He talked to the group out in Pendleton, and with that, I talked to him. We got a lot closer on the Haiti trip. So going over there, it was mainly just a service trip, and but in my mind, it was also kind of like a team building.
Mm-hmm.
So the guys that did go, that we got a lot closer with them. We got to hear the background stories, their reasons for going out there, and a lot of times it was a change in perspective. And ever since high school, I went on a service trip down to Haiti my senior year.
Okay.
And since that point, I've always believed that the best way to change someone's mindset is to change their perspective. And from that point, Sean started talking about the All Off for Cancer. And obviously we didn't have that name at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did a heck of a job heading that up. But with that, as soon as he started talking about it, obviously on the service trip, I mean, I was all for it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times with Clemson football and the fact that we just won a national championship, a lot of the guys don't realize the platform that they're blessed with, and what people do with their platform in order to influence others or affect and impact others. I think that is just as important as how you perform on the field. You know, who you are as a person is just as important as to who you are as a player. So, I mean, looking at it from that perspective, Sean's a great guy, and obviously you could see that, the fact that he headed up something like that. Also went on the Haiti trip, and I can definitely say that I look at him like a brother right now.
Yeah.
Or not right now, but now in general.
Kind of gone through all that.
Yeah, exactly. But
what was the response sort of the other guys on the team? You know, when he says, "Hey, I want to do this," and also, you know, you're gonna shave your heads. Is that, you know, is that cool?
I mean, some guys are like, "Oh, I'm not shaving my heads," but I mean, it grows back, and so it's really not that big of a deal. Not only that, just to see the smile on a lot of the kids' faces, it was. I just hope that I had an impact on them as much as they had an impact on me.
Yeah.
So the little girl that I was with, it's funny because we were sitting there, and a lot of times they have to go through treatment, and they're going through a lot of things, and they can't just be normal kids. So to have the opportunity to sit down and talk with a Clemson football player, I mean, I guess would be pretty cool. You know, just give them an opportunity to be able to sit down and laugh, not have to think about all the things they have to go through with the treatment. So I thought I was all for it as soon as he started talking about it.
Who was the ugliest after they shaved their heads?
That's a great question. I'd say, well, Cade Stewart used to have a mullet.
Yeah, so that's really an improvement.
Shaved. Yeah, so that was an improvement. But no, yeah, Sean didn't look so hot with the beard. But yeah, it was awesome.
What was the, you know, getting to see the kids like in that environment? What was that like for you guys? How much did that, you know, Sean said like after the first time he kind of went and visited them, like just the emotional weight of it all. It's so big.
Absolutely.
But like getting to kind of see the other side of it, of them outside of you know, a treatment environment and actually being able to laugh and have fun and stuff, like what's that kind of like for you?
I'd just say it was a blessing, the fact that I'm in that position in order to make them laugh.
Yeah.
And that they look up to me in something like that, because I honestly just look at myself as a normal college student, and I just happen to play football. But the fact that they were able to come in there, a lot of them were shy to begin with, and as soon as they opened up and you got to hear their stories, it was insane to hear the type of stuff that they had to go through. And I mean, I'm just extremely happy that they were able to actually get out and enjoy themselves for a day.
Yeah. Did you get to hear from any, you know, parents or anything like that about kind of what the day meant to their kids?
A couple of them talked about it afterwards. We took a lot of pictures with them, and I would say it wasn't necessarily what they said, but their facial expressions.
Yeah.
Because whenever we were on stage and they were cutting our hair, and you could just see, like, I just kept telling the girl that I was with, I was like, hey, like, you can make me look as crazy as you want. And she was like, okay. And I mean, if you're just goofing around with them and them being able to see their kids laugh, I mean, a lot of them were in the crowd just crying, and they honestly didn't have to say anything. Like, we knew what it meant to.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Greg, what was your favorite part of the Haiti trip?
Favorite part of the Haiti trip? I'd have to say, okay, so whenever I went in my senior year of high school, I went to a place called Alex's House, and it's an orphanage about 45 minutes to an hour away from Port-au-Prince. But I'd say the coolest part was being able to go back and see the orphanage. So talking with Jesse Carroll and Allison and all them, they set it up to where I was able to go back to the exact same place and see the exact same kids, and this was 4 years later. And I honestly never thought that I'd been able to be blessed to have that opportunity. But whenever I was there, we were building a foundation for like a halfway house or a transition house. So the kids that would be in middle school or in high school, they get to the point to where they're dependent on the resources that they're given on a daily basis, on shelter and stuff like that. So the transition house was the opportunity for them to move out of there to where they were supporting themselves. Like, they worked for a living now, and they just had a shelter to live. So at that point, I honestly say was the coolest part, as well as just being able to see the change that they've gone through.